Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's happening, my young people? And to me, everybody's a young person. I tell people all the time when they say, "Well, I'm not that young." I'm like, "Yep, you're still above ground, so you're young." So whenever you think for a moment that you're not a young person, yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are young. And you know the saying people say you're as young as you feel. Well, I feel young and vibrant every day. And I actually accomplished one of my goals today. And I am so excited about it. I'm going to continue to do that. Uh, I actually walked twice today. I didn't record the second one, but my goal is to do 10,000 steps a day. And I know for some, they may say, oh man, that's easy to do. Well, if you don't know this, April the 3rd of this year, I got my chest cracked open and they did 8 inches down. They had to open me up, and they found it. They knew that the tumor was there. They saw that during the MRI. So they was like, okay, we got to get this out. And I'm like, well, yeah, I need that out too. So they was like, okay, we're gonna schedule the surgery. So the surgery took place on April the 3rd. I was in the hospital till April the 7th. I started walking on April the 8th, and I have been walking ever since. Now, when I first came out, I could only walk a little bit. I barely could get up to a half a mile. If I got up to a half a mile, then I got up to a mile, then I got up to 2.5, and then just on the 12th, I walked in what's called the African American Wellness Walk, which was 3.2 miles. And that didn't take place till 10 o'clock that morning, but I had walked earlier in my neighborhood 2.5 miles. So I walked a total of 5.7 miles. And that was like, actually, I walked more than that because I had to walk from the finish line and the starting spot back to where my wife was to pick me up, which was another mile away for her to pick me up. So I ended up walking probably a total of 6 miles or more. It was a beautiful day. And so today I said, okay, I know I've been talking this thing about walking 6 miles, but I want to be able to do 6 miles consistently. And after today, I believe in my heart that I can do 6 miles consistently. That means that's 10,000 steps. I'd have to do it, break it up. Hopefully and prayerfully, as time goes on, I will be able to do it all in one swoop, meaning 6 miles in one swoop. Haven't gotten there yet. I'm at the halfway point, and I'm excited about that. If you would like to join me on what I've coined my morning motivational walk, feel free. I go live every morning at 6:30 a.m. Yes, every morning on my morning motivational walk, where I'm giving different tips on how to stay motivated, why you should be motivated. Today, I talked about are you consistent? Because you can be consistently doing something wrong and you can be consistently doing something right. You just have to decide which one that you want to be. Which consistent do you want to be? I'm consistently getting up every morning to go walk because I have goals that I've set. And I've joined this challenge with a group of my friends. And if you want to know more about it, I'll leave the website where you can go and look for the button that says the perfect challenge. And it's a free group. You go in there, we putting our information in there on our progress. Like my 3 goals are, and it's a 90-day challenge. It's already started and it's not over until about November the 5th or the 8th. And the 3 goals I have are to release 20 pounds. Yes, I said release it, because if you lose it, then you got to go back and look for it again. I learned that from one of my real good friends, Greg Walker. So I want to release 20 pounds. I want to read 10 books. I want to read 10 books in the next 90 days. And I want to be able to walk consistently 6 miles every day. Those are my 3 goals. So you can feel free to jot down what your 3 goals are. You know what, or even if you want to join me on the challenge, it's free. You come in and you can, and I'm sure that there's something that you want to rid yourself of. You might want to stop. Some people, you might want to stop smoking. You might want to stop drinking. You want to get off of sugar. You want to stop eating meat. You might want to not eat a certain thing at a certain time. There's all different types of things and different challenges you can do. This could go on and on. It could grow legs. You can do 90-day challenges for the rest of your life, because there's all different types of things that you want to get rid of, and there's all types of things that you want to improve in. Because I'm sure once I meet this challenge, I'm gonna challenge myself to complete some other challenge, because there's a lot of different things that I want to do. I want to constantly keep myself in motion for the rest of my life. I love reading. I just had my wife order me another book to add to my list of books. I've already completed one, and I'm halfway through. I can safely say that I'm halfway through the second book. So I'm going to reach that goal of 10 books. I promise you, I'm going to reach that goal of 10 books. So share this broadcast out. There's somebody out there that needs to hear this. And I was on a training today with the gentleman, and I told him, I inboxed him later on after it was over, and I said, bro, I haven't been on a webinar this long in years, and it was actually 2 hours. And I believe that the reason I stayed on there was because the information was very interesting and enlightening. And a lot of it I had heard before, but here's the thing about hearing things before: are you actually implementing them on a regular basis? And I told him that, and I was very transparent. I said, even though I read the book you were talking about, I know about the strategies that you were sharing, but have I been implementing them on a regular basis? And the answer was no. And I said, well, I need to get to work. I need to get to work because I'm a leader. And leaders lead from the front, not the back. Leaders don't just talk about it, they be about it. So I wanted to share with you something that's very dear to me, and I practice it not enough. Notice I said that. I practice it not enough. And I learned this technique years ago, and I do it sparingly. But now, since listening to him, I'm going to step my game up, and I'm going to start doing this on a regular basis, because I have a lot to offer and a lot to teach people. And you can see in the ticker going below, the power of the learn, do, and teach method. I'm going to tell you that's a powerful method. And basically, everyone can participate in this, whether you're doing business online, offline, or you're not even doing business at all, because somewhere along the line in your life, you have learned something. Once you learn it, you do it, and then you teach it. So this just doesn't apply to business. I mean, I can give you an example of this. I've been married for 36 years. I can tell you what it looks like in a bad marriage, and I can tell you what it looks like in a good marriage. And I can teach. I've learned it. I'm doing it, and I can truly teach it on a regular basis, because I've been participating in it for 36 years. Yes. And there's no manual out here showing me how to be an effective husband. Or here's another one, an effective parent. No. Or here's another one. When I went into the Marine Corps, I had no idea what to do with an M16 nor a 45. 45 is the pistol. M16 is the what we call it in there, your gun. I had no idea what to do with that thing. But as a result of going through training and being in the Marine Corps for 4 years, I learned everything there was to learn about an M16 and a 45 caliber pistol. So I learned how to do it. I did it, and I can teach somebody how to actually operate either one of those. Yeah, either one. So there's all different types of methods. There's all different types of things, but we have to become more vigilant in what we're doing as far as learning something, doing something, and teaching. Because how can you teach somebody something that you've never learned? Now, it's one thing when you read it in a book, and reading it in a book is fine. But once you read it in the book, you're going to have to apply that knowledge somewhere, somehow. Because if you just read it in a book, how can you tell me about it if you're not participating in it? So you can't teach me because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. You learned it. You even may have gone as far as getting a degree in it, but do you have any practical knowledge? I'll give you another example. I got hundreds of them. My wife went to the highest rank you can get as far as in her field in the Postal Service, becoming the director of human resources with no college education. But she understood, she learned what she needed to learn, she was doing what she needed to do, and then she could teach it to other people. So she practiced that with no formal college education. So I'm not downplaying college education. College education itself is a wonderful thing. So don't get this thing twisted. And why he said, if she didn't have no college education, that didn't make it that she wasn't smart. Yeah, highly intelligent, sought after by people all over the United States. There were people with college degrees calling Carolyn, wanting to get information, because what she did is she became a very good student of the game. So you have to become a student of the game. It means you have to read the books, you have to ask the questions, and then you have to apply the knowledge that you've asked the questions on and you've read the book. She was very fluid at reading the manuals. So she knew the manual like the back of her hand. So when you violated something, she said, no, you can't do that based off of section blah, 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 blah. And she would call a lot of people on the carpet on that, and they couldn't dispute it because it was in the book. This is the book you set out in front of us, and it's the guidelines we're supposed to go by. So it's not her fault if you didn't learn the book. Despite the fact that you may have been so-and-so, such and such, but the book is the book. That's just the way it goes. When you learn something and you start applying it, then you can teach it. Now you can teach it with confidence. I can teach people several things, especially when it comes to business. I can teach you what to do and what not to do when you are prospecting, whether you're doing it online or offline. And you can do the same method online as you do offline, because you're going to just use one formula. And I talked about it yesterday in my live yesterday. Form, family, occupation, recreation, and the money. And I can go through the series, and you don't use it in that same order, so you don't look or sound like a robot. You don't want to look and sound like a robot. You want it to be a natural transition. I can meet somebody for the first time, literally never laid eyes on them, and I could know more about them in the next 5 minutes than most people learn in their lifetime. And they probably been around the person because I'm asking pointed questions. Like, hey, I see you're in the 4441 area code. Where's that? They're going to tell me. I'm like a lawyer. I'm asking open-end questions. They say, that's Cleveland. I'm like, okay. So do you like the Cleveland Browns? I'm not a Cleveland Brown fan. I'm just using an example. They say, yeah, I love the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Indians. And then I say, hey, who's your favorite football player to play for the Cleveland Browns? If they don't know and they can't say this one name, I'm like, hey, how can you be a Browns fan? God rest his soul, Jimmy Brown, one of the greatest football players of all time, in my opinion. That's my opinion. That's what I'm asking, talking to them about family. And I actually went to recreation. I skipped the O. I just talked about, says, hey, you live right here in the Cleveland area. Are you married? They say, no, I'm not married. I'm single, blah, blah, blah. How long you been living in Cleveland? Oh, about 20 years. Cool. What do you do for a living up here in Cleveland? Oh, I'm a school teacher over at Cleveland Tech. Oh, okay, cool. What do you teach over there? You get it. You get what I'm saying. It's easy to do that. Then when you go to you either talk to them with the M, you talk to them about money, or you talk to them about the message. whatever the message you're trying to convey. Or you ask them, are they open to looking at any business opportunities or any opportunities that wouldn't interfere with what they're currently doing? That's the message, talking about the money. It's non-threatening. There's nothing in that conversation I talked about what company I'm with, if I'm with a company, none of that, because I'm just icebreaker. It's an icebreaker. That's a perfect example of learning something, doing something, and then teaching that. And I can do that every day, all day, with my eyes closed. And I can do that. Don't make no difference this don't make no difference where I'm at or who I'm talking to. Doesn't make a difference about any of that. You know why it don't make a difference? Because I understand. And see somebody trying to get in touch with me while I'm live, and I don't know who that might be. Let's see what's going on. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody trying to get. I gotta cross. You get her. Okay. My wife's sisters had to go to the one of her sisters had to go to the emergency room. So I needed to look at that. Normally I wouldn't, but I had to look at that to make sure that it wasn't something that I needed to address. And I would have just ended this live and just went on and took care of that business. That's how we do it. So you can practice this on anything and everything. If you're meeting a girl for the first time or you're meeting a guy for the first time, you can use this. Form can be used in any arena. It doesn't make a difference. I use form all the time without even knowing that I'm using form because I've been doing it for years. When I ask somebody, hey, are you from around here? When I went to the Ohio State Fair, I was talking to people I didn't know from a can of peas. It doesn't matter. See, so what I'm getting to is once you learn something and you start doing that something, you can teach that something. And it's just that simple. It's not rocket science. Business is supposed to be simple. That's a simple process that anybody can do. I can teach that to a 5-year-old. Yes, I can teach that. I can teach that method to a 5-year-old. And you got grown people, who mess that up every day because they got too much they think going on in their brain. When that was first introduced to me, I said, you know what? I could do that. And so I've been applying that process for quite some time. And I even do that just doing it. It's just it's natural. It becomes natural. It becomes natural for me to do that. Tomorrow, unless I think about something else, I'm gonna talk about another thing that it's on the same method of the learn, do, teach method. And see, the learn, do, teach method is a process that veteran people don't even use, let alone somebody brand new. See, the reason why people are failing is not because they don't know, it's because they're getting the wrong information. They're getting the wrong information and they're trying too many things. They're chasing shiny objects. And that's another subject all by itself. Let me just stay with this right here and stay in this. I don't want to chase a rabbit hole. I don't want to chase that rabbit because I'm going to end up going down a hole if I'm chasing too many rabbits. So what I learned is don't chase too many rabbits and you don't have to worry about it. So if you utilize this thing called form, and it's still falling into learn, do, teach. And when if you're out on any social media platform, when you're talking to somebody, don't sound weird and spammy. Just talk to them. Go to their profile. If you want to know if somebody has a for real profile, just go over there and look at their profile before you start having a conversation with them. I'm teaching y'all. I'm putting y'all up on some game so you won't be a spammer. So when you meet somebody for the first time out here on the internet and you're in their inbox, don't spam them talking about you got this latest and greatest opportunity. Get to know the person. Go to their page. That way you can ask them questions. Hey, and you don't even have to talk about nothing other than what's on their page, and you don't even have to let them know that you're on the page. You can have when I was heavily prospecting, I would have 2 pages open. I would have my page open. I would have that person's page open, and I would be talking to them. And now when they came up with this thing right here, you can do it faster from the phone than you can from the computer. It's faster, and you can be mobile. You can be out, and you can talk to 10, 15 people with the stroke of just going inside. Hey, how you doing, so and so? Hey, I see you like to go camping. When's the last time? When's the last camping trip you've been on? You may have seen something on their page where they just came back from a camping trip, or you may ask them a question about anything, and if they can't answer it according to their page, then you say that's when you expose them and say, hey, I'm on your page right now, and it says you do this, but you're saying you don't. Which is it? Now they're exposed. Now you're separating yourself. That's a learn, do, teach method. Form is a learn, do, teach method. I tell you right now, if you apply form right now, if you haven't recruited one person into your business, if you apply form for the next 90 days, and you don't become spammy when you're out here on social media, on whichever platform you decide to use, you'll start signing people up for free, organically, without paying a nickel. I'm gonna do something to probably tomorrow or the next day and show you. I'm gonna actually share my screen, and I'm gonna be live here, and I'm actually gonna go to people's pages and actually comment on their stuff while they're there, so you can see what I'm talking about commenting on people's stuff and hopefully getting the reaction back from them on their stuff. That's my prayer, is that when I'm actually, and even if I don't while we're live, it'll still happen later, because that person will get a notification, because there's a thing where when you reply, the name comes up. It comes up Greg, and then it says, hey, you're replying back to them. Like I put a post up about a board game that my wife and I just found out about this past weekend called Shut the Door. It's a great game. It really challenges you, and it's a good board game. So what I did is I put a picture of it, and I asked anybody had they ever seen anything like this before, and if they had, please don't share it that you've seen it. Give other people an opportunity to say if they had or they hadn't. A lot of people hadn't. Only one person had seen it. The rest of them had. So what I did is I went and got the information. I shared it with them later on what that board game is. Yes. Now I could have did that live as a demonstration, but that wasn't part of the training that I wanted to share. The training I wanted to share today was learn it, do it, teach it. And hopefully you got some value out of me sharing with you a simple process called form. And if you didn't write it down, if you're taking notes, write it down. It's FORM, and you don't have to use it in any order. But the best way to use it is just find out, hey, if you're talking to them on the phone, hey, I see you calling me from a 614 area code. Where is that located at? They're going to tell you. They're going to tell you. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Okay, great. Is that where Ohio State is? Yes. Are you an Ohio State fan? No. That's just me answering the question, even though I am. So then they're going to say, well, what you're going to say to them? Well, what do you do for living over there in Columbus, Ohio? Well, I'm retired. Oh, really? Retired from where? Postal Service. Okay, cool. How long did you work? 25 years. How long you been retired? 15. So you answering the question. So we ain't talking about no business. No business. What do you do for recreation now that you're retired? Oh, I spend time with the grandkids. I go to the state fair with my wife. We travel. We own 2 dogs. I love dogs. See? Ain't nothing in there talking about no business. See, How easy and simple is that to do? Very simple. And you don't want to rush through it because you want to give them time to answer and then you reply back to them. Yeah, and you find out where they live, what they do for a living, what they like for recreation. You will find out a whole lot by asking questions. I promise you will. Ain't nothing better than water. So let me know in the comments and share this video out. If you've been struggling to engage with people on any social platform, just let me know. I'm here to help you. And I promised I'd share the information where you can go over and join this 90-day Trinity challenge that we got going in this community we got going in. I promise you, you are going to have a blast. I am having a blast. And if you came in a little late, which is fine, because some people come in live, some people come in on replay. I'm involved in this 90-day challenge, and my 3 goals are to release 20 pounds, to read 10 books, and to walk 6 miles. I'm halfway. This is where I am right now. The challenge, I think, started August the 1st. It's August 15th right now. So I tell you where I'm at right now. My weight wise, I'm at 224. So I got 20. I want to knock off 20 pounds. I want to release 20. Okay, I want to read 10 books. I'm at 1 book and a half. I just ordered another book, and I'll share that with you when it comes in. It's a very good book. It's actually a book I read it 15 years ago, but I couldn't find it. So I had my wife reorder the book. And I want to walk 6 miles consecutively. Right now I'm halfway. I'm walking 3 miles. Today I walked 6. Now tomorrow I may walk 6 again. Don't know. But that's my goal, is to walk 6 miles consecutively. Just consistently walking 6 miles and then build myself up. I can't tell you what the next set of goals are going to be because I don't know. I'm just working on these right now. But we got a group going, a Facebook group, which is free. And I'm going to send you, if you choose to do it, I'm going to send you over to gregsaid.com. And you look for this button on there that says the perfect challenge. And then you'll put your information in. It'll send you over to a free Facebook group. When I say free, it's free. You ain't buying nothing. And you'll see people in there giving up their progress and their chat and their goals on what they want to do, how they want to do it. And what one lady just said goodbye to Pepsi. Another guy said goodbye to Mountain Dew. So these people got real things that they want to get rid of. Like me, I want to release 20 pounds. And then when I go from there, I'm going to go to another challenge. But let me do one thing at a time. It's just like you just learned about form today. Some of you may have learned about form today, and some of you may know about it, but weren't using it because you probably thought it's outdated, and it's not. You can be a 6-7 figure earner, and there are 6 and 7 figure earners who still use this process right now, today, because it's very simple and easy to do, and it breaks the ice. Because once you find out things about a person, then you know how to maneuver in without being spammy and without being salesy. Because here's what I know: people don't want to sell, but people want to buy everything. They don't want to be sold to. They want to be the one that make the decision to buy, not for you to sell it to them. But they're gonna buy it. They want to be the one to make the decision based off of them, not based off of you pushing it down their throat. Because they've got a lot of people that try to push stuff down people's throat. And it ain't necessary to do that. I want to answer somebody. Hey, Sean Perry, how you doing? Just have a simple conversation. That is so correct. What's going on, Sister Rita? Everything good? Everything good. Listen, that is true what Sean said. Just have a simple conversation. It's easy. When you do it, But see, you have to be strategic even in that simple conversation because you're gathering data. Because here's what I know, and I'm going to close with this. You are sifting and sorting. You might not want to work with certain people. So if you don't sift and sort and you just going out and going all just haphazardly out there, then you end up working with any. So what happens? You end up working. You just taking any warm body. No, I'm going to tell you like this, and I definitely close it. You want to work with people that you would feel comfortable going on a vacation with. If you don't feel comfortable going on a vacation with that person, you don't want to work with that person. It's just that simple. If you feel comfortable going on a vacation with that person, you want to work with that person. That's what you should be thinking in the back of your mind. Would I want to go on vacation with this person? If you feel like you don't want to go on vacation with that person, then don't work with that person. That's your choice. And it's a great choice. It's going to save you a lot of heartache and misery in the long run. So with that, I want to say I thank you. I appreciate you being here because you could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend a few minutes here with me. And I don't take that lightly. And go out and share a form with somebody, or even better yet, just go and try it if you haven't already tried it. And it doesn't have to be if you're in business. You don't have to be in business to try form. You can try form on your children. Yeah, you can try form on your children, on your relative, whoever. Brand new person you met in the grocery store, you'd be surprised on how effective this system works. And you might meet a new friend today. God bless you.